Okay then, in this video we'll write our first leaflet map. So in the previous video we set up our work environment, but we didn't set up a leaflet library. So that means if we write any leaflet related code into main.js, it's not gonna work because simply we haven't set up our leaflet library into our project yet. So let's do that. So for that, we need to go to the official website of the leaflet library, which is leafletjs.com. So please go to this website, and in here we have download section. Please go to this section. And when it comes to including leaflet library into your project, there are several ways of doing that. So the first one is by downloading the leaflet library and including it into your project. So for that, you simply need to click on this link. So the first one is stable version, and at the time of recording this video, the latest version is leaflet 171. So if it's 181 or 191, it still works, no problem. So again, this one, the first is stable version, and this one is in progress. So that means it's the development. So it's still in the development stage. So that means if you use this one, it still works, but it might have some bugs and etc. But you will get all the latest features that you can't that are not available in the previous or in the stable version. All right. So and also if you scroll down, so we also have CDN. So and the CDN would be another way of including leaflet library into your project. So CDN means it's just a third-party provider, and that CDN provides leaflet library to you. All right, so for that, you simply need to include these two tags. So the first one is, as you can see, styles of the leaflet library. So, and the second one is JavaScript of the leaflet library. And also we have this one. So basically the difference between them is, so this one, as you can see, has integrity attribute. And so that means this is more secure. That's because, as I said before, CDN is a third-party provider. So that means if someone, let's say a bad person, if a bad person gains control over this leaflet CDN, that bad person may inject some bad code to this leaflet CDN. So then this leaflet library injected, bad code injected leaflet library may potentially do something very bad to your leaflet library. Sorry, not to your leaflet library, to your leaflet application. So that's why, so I recommend using this one rather than this one. All right, so I recommend you use this one, which has integrity attribute in it. So you can also read more about this integrity in here, sub-resource integrity. So it tells you everything in much more detail, like how it works and etc. So if you are interested, please read that one. So now let's copy this. And I think this is the easiest way to include leaflet library into your project. All right, because in here you need to download it first and then unzip it and then include that into your project, while in here you just copy paste them and put them into your leaflet index.html document, and that's it. So basically what you need to do is so we will include styles of the leaflet library into the head section as we did with our styles.css. So very easy. And then in the body section, we will include script of the leaflet library. All right, so like this. So now we are all done with including leaflet library into our project. So that means we can start writing our first leaflet map. So for that, we need to go to the main.js, and we don't need these alert and console log, so please delete them altogether. So first of all, what we need to do is window onload init. So I'll explain this in a second why we need this one, and then function init. So basically, window onload init means this means we have here our application, right? So index.html. So when you say window onload init, so it will make sure that this so it will run your init function, or let's say the code that you will write in the init code will run after this window has fully loaded. So this is really helpful because so your leaflet library and everything loads up, and afterwards, so this function init will fire up. All right. So I think it's very easy to understand. So now we can write our first leaflet map. So we'll write inside this function init. So now what we need to do is we should say const my map or leaflet map. So and then l.map. So I will write our first leaflet map, and then afterwards I will explain this code. All right. So then what we need to do is basically in here we need to specify our HTML container that will hold our leaflet map. But we don't have that one in here. So that means we need to set up that one. So I will explain this one more time. So for now, just simply type div and then hit tab, and this will create a div element in the index.html. And in here, please write your ID. So like div ID and then map ID. So I'll explain this in a second. So and then copy this and please put it in here. So then afterwards, what we need to do is we need to specify our options, leaflet map options. Don't worry if you don't understand everything in detail at the moment at this stage. So now please write center, and then let's specify the center. So for now I'll write 14, 48, 48, 14. So then zoom level. So let's make it 4, and then we need to specify layer. So layers. It's not layer, it's layers. Please pay attention to this. If you write layer, it's not gonna work. So layers, then in here we need to specify our base layer. So again, if you don't understand everything completely, don't worry. So now in here we need to specify URL for our layer. Don't worry, I will just copy paste one thing and I'll explain later on where to get that from. So actually I can explain this right now. So basically what we need to do is we need to go to the official website of the Leaflet.js again, and from the first page, this one, just go scroll down a little bit, and in here you have L tile layer, and then here you have OpenStreetMap, URL for the OpenStreetMap. Please copy this and then put it in here. Okay. So like this. So then what we need to do in here is we need to specify attribution. So that's gonna be credit for the data provider, which is OpenStreetMap. Okay. So again, in here we can copy paste from here attribution, and then just copy the attribution string. So we don't need this, and that's it. So now we have set up our leaflet library and we wrote our first leaflet interactive map, but we need to go to styles, and in here we have this background color red. We don't need that anymore. And then in here we need to specify height and width for our leaflet map. So, and in here, if you remember, we have map ID. That's the ID of our div element. So just copy this map ID and then paste it in here. And don't forget this hashtag. That's how we reference div elements by ID. Okay. So then height. So height would be 100 view height. So it means just for your view, it's gonna be 100%, and for the width, it's gonna be 100%, and I will do it view width. So that's how you do it. Okay, so now what we did in here, we basically specified height and width for our HTML, leaflet map container. So in here, we have specified our very basic leaflet map. And in here, in the index.html, we first of all included leaflet styles file, and as well as JavaScript for the leaflet library. Okay, so now let's go to our web browser, and then if we refresh it, we should see our first leaflet map. All right, if you don't see this leaflet map, don't worry. So I will explain debugging techniques in the next video, but if it doesn't work, please first of all pay attention that you have wrote everything as in here. So we need to be very careful when it comes to like this one or that one or this. So if you make, for instance, layer, it's not gonna work. So for instance, like this, you see, it's not working. So very basic map. And now I would like to explain what we did in here. Okay, so basically what we did is, let's go to the official website of the leaflet library, and don't worry about this. So let's go to the docs, because we'll come to that code in a minute. So what we did is, let's scroll down a little bit, and in here I would like to make one thing in here before I start explaining. So in here, as you can see, we have map. So that's a map object or map. Yeah, so we have created a map object, which is this one, using this class, all right, lmap. So that's a central class of the API. So that's a central leaflet class, and using that class, we have created our map. And then afterwards, we specified our center, and then we also specified zoom, and then we specified layer. So that means for the leaflet map, for the very basic leaflet map, you need three things. So the first one is center, you need zoom, and then you need at least one layer. So if you skip this one, center, I'll show you, it's not gonna work. So you see, it's not gonna work. And if you skip, for instance, zoom level, it's not gonna work either. So I'll show this. So you see, it's not working. So that means for the basic leaflet map, you need three things. So center, zoom, and then at least one layer. So let's go back to the official website. So as you can see, we did the same one, and you can, if you scroll down, so these are options. So these are control options. These are not very important at the moment. Interaction options like pop-up, close pop-up, click, and etc. So map state options. So in here, we have used this one, center, zoom, and then layers. All right, so for the center, latitude and longitude. So default is undefined, so that means you need to specify it. So then zoom level, so that's initial zoom level. Zoom level is this one. So if you specify, like, let's say different zoom level, so 1, it's gonna zoom out. So you see, it's zoom out. So if you write, for instance, 5, so it will go 5 level in, so it will zoom in. All right. So, and then we specified layers. So array of layers that will be added to the map initially. And in here we have included OpenStreetMap. So if you don't like this one, there are other base maps. So I'll show you. So for that, what you need to do is you just need to go to leaflet base maps. You write that one, and then go to this one, leafletextras.github.io, and in here you can have a look into other base maps. So we have used this one, first one, but you can also find some other ones, like for instance OpenStreetMap DE. So that means for it's the same OpenStreetMap but in German language, and this one I believe in Swiss German, and so that's for France and etc. But we also have some other ones like this. So if you want to use that, so basically what you will do is, so you just copy this URL, this one, and then you need to paste it in here like this. You just replace it, but also you need to change, don't forget to change the attribution, because the attribution will change accordingly, because this is not OpenStreetMap anymore. So you simply just replace the attribution string like this. So, and if you go to the web browser again, and then in here, as you can see, so it has changed it, and the attribution appears in here at the bottom right hand side. You can see in here. All right. So basically that's it regarding this video. And again, if you don't have this map, this basic map, don't worry, because in the next video I'll explain some basic debugging style, basic debugging techniques that might help you with this basic leaflet map. Okay, that's it regarding this video, and I'll see you in the next one.